So this is my new setup. I've actually moved house since the last setup sort of tour I did, which was absolutely ages ago. I've moved to London now with a few of my friends. And obviously London is the place I sort of need to be to get the sort of connections and opportunities to do what I want to do. And this is the setup that I've sort of put together whilst I'm living here. Okay, so let's start off with the desk. Basically, the desk that I wanted, they didn't have, because everyone obviously working from home now has taken all of the desks from IKEA. So I had to settle for an IKEA Limon. It is obviously made out of, I think, particle board, so it's not solid at all. And it does actually start to get a little bit chipped here and there. I think it is starting to bow sort of in the middle. I don't know if this is distorted by the lens, but I think all the weight sort of being in the middle, especially when my arms are leaning on it, it doesn't really do me any favours, especially as there's not really much support in the middle of the desk. Other than that, it is obviously white, which is quite nice. It sort of brightens up the room a bit more. Instead of like a darker colour desk, it obviously would absorb quite a lot of light. So yeah, having a light desk is good. And as well as it being light, it doesn't show that much dust, surprisingly. Along with the desk obviously not being the best, we have this chair as well, which is actually given to me by my flatmate's girlfriend's flat, and they didn't want it when they were moving out, so I took it. I'm pretty sure the screws have been put in wrong, but it's free at the end of the day, and it's not actually that uncomfortable to sit on. It does flex quite a bit, and it does give a little bit of sort of lumbar support there, so it's not the worst chair in the world. Obviously I would probably look to upgrade that. Moving on, we have got a 34-inch Samsung Ultrawide monitor. Now this one is actually USB-C, so there is one cable which goes from that monitor into my laptop, and it transfers all the data required for the display, which I think is a 1440p display. It's definitely not 4K, but 4K for me is not really that important. The resolution is definitely high enough for what I need, and it's really nice having one cable to plug in, which actually charges my laptop as well. You can also plug in like hard drives and stuff to this monitor, but I leave all of mine below it just there because these are all external hard drives. I am looking to upgrade my storage so that I can back up all of my footage all of the time and not worry about it taking up too much space, but for now I just plug in a USB-C cable every time I need to use one of my external hard drives. So yeah, I absolutely love this monitor. It's also curved as well, and it wasn't ridiculously priced. I think I paid about 300 quid for it, which was actually a really good deal because I think it's about £500 in the UK. I'll see if I can provide a link for this and also every single other bit of equipment in this video. I'll try and link down below for you guys so you can check it out. And this is the machine powering the setup, which is a 2017 MacBook Pro with touch bar. I edit in 4K on this, and some of the files that I get from my Canon 1DX Mark II, which is what I'm using to film this with, are absolutely massive. It's really good to create stuff on Mac OS. I find it a lot more inspiring and clean than using Windows. As well as my MacBook, I also have this gaming PC, which I use to play with friends, and I sometimes render larger projects on this just as a secondary machine. My MacBook is on an Amazon Basic stand, which brings up the screen on my MacBook to sort of the same level as my monitor, so it's nicer to look from one to the other. I also just like having it up a little bit higher. For my mouse and keyboard, I use an Apple Magic Keyboard and a Logitech G602. The Magic Keyboard is absolutely brilliant. It's super responsive, and the sort of Bluetooth connectivity is very good, and the battery life lasts for ages. I also like having no wires. It's completely wireless, which is great. Same with the mouse. The battery lasts for ages, and there's no wires, obviously, nothing clogging up the desk. And I use my mouse and keyboard along with a Spigen extended mouse mount, which I think just looks really good, and it's sort of just nice to rest your hands on it. It is sort of gel based, so it's a little bit squishy, which is quite nice, and it also means that your hands aren't resting on a cold surface, because the desk, I don't know, it just is a bit rock hard and a bit cold. We of course have my fake plant, which I've had for years as well, from IKEA, as well as my diary where I like to keep track of everything that I'm doing and set all my goals for the week. We also have a Amazon Echo, which I actually plug in with a 3.5mm headphone jack to these two big studio monitor speakers, which I'll come on to in a minute. I may as well have an Amazon Echo Dot because I don't actually use the speakers that are built into it, so if I was to get a Dot, I'd move this into another room. So this brings me on to my studio monitors, which are by PreSonus. They sound very good. I listen to music on these pretty much all day, as well well as editing my videos. They're actually very affordable as well. I think I paid about £85 for them. They connect obviously together, and then I plug the cables for them into my monitor, which again just simplifies things from this end. I don't need to plug in loads and loads of cables whenever I plug the MacBook back in to the setup. So there we go. I hope you have enjoyed the video. This is my workspace. Obviously I do pretty much everything that could possibly be done at this desk. I sit here for quite a lot of my week, editing, answering emails, doing all sorts of other stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I'll provide links for everything possible if I can find, or I'll find like the next alternative. So please subscribe here if you're new, and I'll see you guys in my next video.